What's up, guys? Erebus here with some more DS3 PvP fun times. Bit of an odd video today. I'm just gonna get that out right off the bat. Essentially, I had a collection of clips that I'd been saving for specific videos. Didn't end up quite getting enough clips for each of these things to really be their own video, unless I made them very short, and wasn't really feeling that, so I mashed a few things together today, and just wanted to get these put together, get my thoughts in here, and get them out as we near the release of Remaster. I don't know how much time I or anyone else will be spending in DS3, so just wanted to get this put together. So this first section is some invasions with Jane Doe, my still level 90 Dex character. Taking out that Phantom quickly there, who was attempting to stalk my buddy here. And about to be a nice little war in the archives. So here are the other three. Well, you can only see two, but there's a third one back there. He is. So I go ahead and take out this beefy colored Phantom and go for the host. Red Buddy is taking on the other Phantom. 4v1 became 2v2 for this other Red. So you can only imagine how stoked he is about this turn of events. But this host has got nothing. And he just tries to drink in my face. GG. Just a nice little gank spank. Ended them quite effortlessly with my pal here. Now this next one is quite long, so I'm gonna do it in a couple sections here. Ran into these folks at Archdragon Peak. There's three of them. You may not be able to hear over the music and my yammering, but there was the sound of a white tree branch being used. So there is another Phantom nearby. Go ahead and go for the setup parry on this one. I only get the partial, so I take some damage, but still able to take him out. He doesn't realize that he hasn't died, so he doesn't move on getting up. There, I see where the other Phantom's at, that nice statue. I was going to try to sneak attack, but they jumped out earlier than I would have expected. And now it's an Ultra and a Pyro, which is kind of an annoying combo. So I'm going to spend some time kind of dancing around this host and going for the Phantom. So I'm going to cut most of that out for you guys because it's not that interesting. But right there, got him with the old Avalon kill as he tried to drink. Avalon is a great tool. I used to kind of not necessarily chuckle at, but just kind of scoff at the tryhards with their offhand crossbows, because it just seems so douchey, but it's so effective, especially when used correctly. And sometimes I don't use it correctly, but sometimes I do, and when I do, it's just such a nice tool. So anyway, took care of the two Phantoms, and so now I'm just putting some work in with the host. Going for those rolling R2s. Smarter than rolling R1s since I have a parry shield out. So kudos to him for that part of it. But just kind of going on a contest here, trying to pressure him with the crossbow a little bit. Bring him in. I mistimed my roll there horribly, so I got punished. Now we've got a blue. And that blue is a Pyro. And in my mind at this point I'm thinking, you know what, I just did this battle, I'm not doing it again. Come to me, ladder. So I take vestiges in the face for that, but that's okay. Worth it. The blue, always eager, is willing to engage me on the ladder. Now for a moment I'm taking stamina damage from the blue and the host, but the host quickly decides he's going to retreat. Blue's not so lucky. Go ahead and knock him off the ladder and then plunge him. And then it's back to me and the host. So now I've killed 3 people. Dark Souls 3 invasions are completely balanced and fine. Oh, and another blue shows up. So now I'm on the run. This blue is, even for a blue, absurdly aggressive. Just charging right in. Constantly. And going for those jumping attacks, which if it wasn't for the host, I could really easily punish with a backstab. But the host is making it difficult. Trying to heal, so I'm backing into these enemies. And this blue just comes right in here. His only focus is me. And he's just going to ignore the enemies completely. which ends up, of course, being his undoing because there's a lot of damn enemies in this section. So he gets put down pretty efficiently. The host realizes he's made a terrible mistake and tries to run. Right around here, yeah, I'm going to get him with this bomb and let him know that he can't run from me. And then he sees this horde coming and just gives up. Just utterly gives up. And at first I thought maybe his controller died, but no, then he's running in circles and just won't dodge or attack anymore. So he was just done. After I killed 4 people and still had Estus, I guess he resigned himself to the fact that he was not going to win. So I gave him the point down just for that alone, but GG. Also in Archdragon, ran into these folks. Now instantly, the second I got in here, I saw this chap one-handing Morn's hammer and thought, I want to go for a parry. I want to parry this guy. But I will say, number one, he was very fond of using that weapon art, which was a bit tricky. And having a sorcerer behind you while you're trying to deal with an ultra weapon is always kind of a tricky ordeal. So the beginning was a bit harder, but got him with the parry. Ended up getting him with the backstab as his lock-on tried to catch up with me. And the sorcerer had no health, so it was quick after that. But GG. That was a fun one. The 2 crits back-to-back was fun. This one is hilarious. So this Legend of a Phantom immediately just sits down. He's out. He wants me to duel the host. He wants the host to have to work for it. So I'm happy to oblige. So me and the host are going to have a little duel here, using the crossbow to create some pressure. And now I'm going to switch over to my Black Knight shield to completely just negate this man's entire build. If he can't do physical damage to me, then he can't do anything at all. I did break my guard there with the weapon art, but there's such a long recovery time, I was able to get away from him before he could get a riposte or anything on the guard break, and I took no damage. So, well worth it in my opinion. Go ahead and switch to the Crow Quills, because I know I'm going to be going for a backstab on this chap. That's my aim. And the Crow Quills have a much better critical percentage than the Straight Sword does. So now I'm just roll catching him a little bit with the Pokey Poke. Get the backstab animation there, unfortunately, and this chap starts healing. So I go back to the Straight Sword, put in some work while he tries to heal, and we're basically back to square one, where I'm just bullying this man. Note that he hasn't hit me yet. He's going to here. Because I wanted to see if I could block 2 R1s instead of 1. I'd only been blocking 1 R1 and then rolling away. I wanted to test and see if I could get 2. I could not. But that's the only time he ever hit me, was when I decided to test something that I knew could cause damage to me. So, yeah. Black Knight Shield OP. GG. Now, as you can tell by the nice title screen, I've got a bit of an Estus Bait mini montage. I was going to make a full montage video of Estus Baits, similar to my Parry President video that I made a while back, and try to coin the term Erebus Estus Entrapment, just for funsies, but ended up just not getting the clips for it, and not wanting to go hunt for clips specifically for a theme, so here they are, just some nice Estus traps. It's still amazing to me that people fall for stuff like this. If I'm facing you with a parry shield, and I'm relatively close to you, and I drink, it's a trap. It's always a trap. Similar to the Barker Bomb Bait. I'm still surprised that people fall for that, but they still do. Works for me, though. And of course, we're dealing with vestiges. Now this one I found fun not only because of the Estus bait, but then here I have a little bit of a host bait, or host trap. I'm swinging at the host, but I'm watching the Phantom knowing he's going to come in, and I punish him for trying to protect his host. which I thought that was pretty fun. And the last section here, Invaders are bad too. I recently did a dried finger run on stream, or started one anyway, on New Game Plus 7 at meta level. So to prepare for that, I had to run through a few New Game cycles, and I got invaded while I was doing so because I was playing online. And I encountered some really just wow players. I mean, we in the Invader community are always talking about, you know, silly hosts and things that hosts do that are funny or pathetic or cowardly. But I was running into the same thing with Invaders. I mean, I don't often get invaded outside of Gank City, you know, because most of my invasion builds, I've killed the bosses and whatnot. I don't typically get invaded. So most of my dealing with Invaders is in Gank City. And you see me here giving the cheeky applause for healing. I was under the impression this was a duel. I bowed to him. I realized while watching the footage he did not bow back. So, I mean, he never agreed to a duel. But I'm still going to give him sarcastic applause for all the chugging. Look at all this chugging. GG. Enjoy a nice point down. But anyway, so just in prepping for the dried finger run and running through the game a few times, I just ran into some really interesting folks. Now this guy, I accidentally trimmed the footage a bit too far, but this guy loaded into Gank City. I was here by myself, and he loaded in 1v1, probably going to be a 2v1 because he would have gotten an Aldrich buddy. And he instantly ran. Ran away into the Silver Knights and would not engage me until I came to the elevator. He decided to engage me here so that I couldn't proceed, but otherwise he was just going to hide in the enemies when I was by myself. So you can see in the on the side of the screen there's a Blade of the Dark boon in here. I went ahead and popped away the blue on once he started hiding in enemies because I didn't feel like playing fair anymore. So the blue, after the blue got summoned, and Aldrich also got summoned, so the blue and the Aldrich are facing off somewhere. I don't know what's going on with that. But in the meantime, I'm working on this guy using Gale's Greatsword. And not doing a great job, honestly, just from the get-go. He's not bad, don't get me wrong, I'm not being that much of a dick, but, you know, I can kind of see now why he was hiding. Some great phantom range on that. There are a few weird hits going on in here. I don't really know whose connection was at fault for that, but one or both of us for sure. So at any rate, the actual fight is not too bad once we start going at it. It's not a bad fight. It's just getting to the fight was. It just made me laugh. Honestly, it always makes me laugh when invaders are such cowards. Because, you know, as invaders, we should be used to dealing with, you know, bad odds. At least 2v1, if not 3 or 4v1. And maybe getting a partner depending on the area that we're in. So, you know, an invader that refuses to engage a solo host just makes me laugh. There's no other way for me to put it. Around this point, he decides he's going to go back to the split leaf, which was a terrible decision on his part. Because, yeah, he can't outpoise me. And he also lost the speed. I guess he got some range over the Gales, but he lost some speed, so it was just a bad call. Now here we have a Pyro, of all things. Don't often see Pyro invasion builds. Now, I'm not going to be too harsh on this chap, because we actually do have a duel, and it's pretty nice. One thing that I'll say is, you know, from my time in the tryhard community, not that I'm a member of it really, but, you know, and my time dueling with tryhards and watching tryhard content creators make videos and stuff, this build that I've made is difficult to deal with if you don't know how to. And if you're not in the dueling community, you probably don't know how to, because when else are you going to see a build like this? So, for a lot of folks, that Pyro Invader included, it's one of those things where it's like, what do you even do with that? You know, when you haven't seen it before, or not much, if you're not used to fighting it, you don't really know what it can do or how to counter it. There's not much you can do. At any rate, now it's time for this chap, who he instantly irritated me for some reason. I don't even remember why now. Probably just because I was irritated. Charged me, backed off and healed and all that stuff, but I mean, it's an invasion, so it's fine. But at any rate, going to town on him. Essentially, this turns into I bully the crap out of him, he heals up to full, and then I bully him some more for a while. Now, I made a mistake there and walked a bit too far forward, trying to punish his Estus. So, the Silver Knights are on their way, sadly. So this little 1v1 with heals is going to become a little bit different. Here I'm checking to see if I have the Hornet Ring, since I've backstabbed him once already, but I do not. He has a tendency to circle when I'm circling, so I'm going to try to go for some cheeky backstab some more. And again, just absolutely punish him, he heals up, absolutely punish him, he heals up. Now we got Silver Knights in play, so I come to the elevator since they won't come here. He's being hyper-aggressive, trying to prevent my heal. I go ahead and get a heal off anyway. And note he's got the Cestus now. He gets a lucky parry here. I know he wasn't anticipating it. And he, of course, switched to a dagger, but didn't have time for the riposte. And now he gets me a little bit with that straight sword. So, you know, out of our 5 head-to-heads or 6 head-to-heads, he got the edge on me once, so good on him for that, I guess. Now he's trying to back down to the Silver Knights again, because I think he's pretty understanding of the fact that he doesn't have too much of a chance. I've already bested him 1v1 several times in a row, you know, in between heals. So I don't think he's very confident. He's trying to get some help from the Silver Knights. He's not getting it. I'm now switching between two-handing the Yorm's Great Machete and rocking my weird build with the straight sword and machete to kind of throw him off a little bit with timings to prevent parries. He does, though, every time I go back to one-handing, he goes to his Cestus to parry. But about now I figure, you know what, that was a lucky parry. He doesn't know the timings. I'm just going to swing through him, and he's not going to get it again. And here come 3 parry attempts right in a row. 1, there's 2, and there's 3. You can see his hand starting to wind up. Really went out as a parry king. But yeah, anyway, GG to all involved. Just a fun little collection of things that I had that I wanted to share. Hope you guys enjoyed. And have a pleasant rest of your day. See you next time.